Hello there, it's Jay here from Jay's Vintage Junk, and yeah, it's Sunday, and yes, I've been car booting again. I took a trip up to Chelford this morning. Now, I wasn't sure whether everything was going to be on or not, because we've had quite a lot of heavy rain, and obviously Chelford's quite a rural area. It's all farmers' fields, and it can get a little bit muddy, and obviously you can't have a car boot sale on a big field like that if it's completely waterlogged. So anyway, I went on an off chance this morning, and I got up there, and unfortunately the big car boot sale, the really big one that's there, was cancelled. A big sign up that the fields were waterlogged, so it was cancelled. The smaller of the two car boot sales, which is basically on a similar site, a little bit further, about half a mile away. But it's a little bit higher, and it must drain a little bit better, because there was no problems there, and that one was on. And because the other one had been cancelled, there was quite a lot of people had actually set up pitch on that car boot sale instead. So it was bigger than it normally is, but it was still nowhere near what we normally have up at Chelford, where we've got the massive car boot sale and then the smaller one, near it. We just had the smaller one. It was just a little bit larger than it normally is, and there wasn't a huge amount there, that I'm looking for. There's plenty of stuff there if you want kiddies' clothes, or toys for your kids, or stuff like that, or DVDs, or the usual car boot sale stuff. But not a huge amount around that interested me. There was a couple of Valve radios, but and the prices weren't ridiculous. But the sets that I've already got, and the ones that I've got, are in nicer condition than these were, so I didn't bother. But what I did find should be quite interesting. I'll just show you the stack we've got to go through. Picked all these up. Big stack of old practical electronics magazines. So I thought we'd do in this video, and there's another item I picked up as well, but what I thought we'd do in this video is have a quick scan through these and see what I've got, because these were dirt cheap. I've got 10 here and I paid £1. 10p each. But yeah, what we'll do first is we'll have a look at these magazines that I picked up, and then we'll have a look at the other item that I grabbed. So anyway, I'll get the camera set back up on the desk so we can have a look at these. I think these might be quite interesting, because I used to buy practical electronics. I started buying practical electronics in, I think, even 92, 93. I was, 13ish, 14ish, something. So kind of that kind of age when I started buying practical electronics. These ones are from the 80s and 90s. Well, 1990. And there's some other issues which are even earlier. These are 1984. These could be quite interesting to look at some of the projects. So I did have a really quick squiz through when I was at the car boot, and I saw Spectrums and ZX81s and projects for them in here. So yeah, I think we'll have a quick flick through these first, and then, like I said, we'll have a look at the other item that I got. So I'll reset the camera and we'll be back in a sec. Right, okay, there we go. Like I said, these were dirt cheap. They're a big suitcase full of magazines, and they were mostly practical electronics magazines. Unfortunately, most of them were in horrific condition. Pages falling out, the covers missing. But like I said, I went through the bag, and I found these 10 that were in reasonable condition. They're not perfect. There are some loose pages and what have you, but they seem to be complete, as where a lot of the other ones, they were really in a mess. I'm presuming if you'd have got the whole lot, you could have probably gone through them, but I just grabbed the ones that looked like they were in good condition, and I said they were only 10p each, so I just got 10 and then paid £1 for them. But here we go, and this is why I wanted to grab them. This is February 1990. Computers understanding their secrets. We've got mock stereo, basic electronics, but look here, budget EEPROM programmer. So there's things like how to build your own computing hardware. That's what I wanted these for. There's going to be some really cool projects from back in the day, back when the 8-bit micro was king, in these magazines. So let's have a and actually these are in really nice condition. page wise, I've got practical electronics from the late 90s, the early 2000s, and they're all browning. They're all, you know, the paper's starting to degrade. This looks in really nice. It's like glossy magazine paper. It's as though they've gone down in quality from the later ones. But anyway, what we got here? I mean, look, PE modem, high-tech comms, building your own high-quality, modest cost machine that is suitable for use with virtually any computer. So they're actually showing you how to build, you know, a modem, an EEPROM programmer. Motor speed control. There should be some, like I said, there just should be some really interesting articles. And you look, computers part 1, from ASCII to Zilog. This is the story of how the hows and whys and the rise and rise of computers. Let's have a look at that. We've got, like, you know, product reviews and stuff that, you know, we could probably consider completely obsolete now, and it was the latest thing in these magazines. I wonder if there's any Bull Electronics adverts in here. They'd be interesting to look at, because I used to buy loads and loads of stuff from Bull Electronics back in the day. It was like a surplus dealer, and they always had really interesting things in. So here we go. Yeah, well, this is the PE modem. So literally putting together your own modem. I wonder if it was BABTA approved. Very much doubt it. But, you know, full schematic, you know, full layout. And these magazines usually even had like this, so you can actually basically photocopy that, use the heat transfer method to transfer it onto a piece of copper, and then etch your own board just straight from the magazine. You know, that was a possibility with these with practical electronics. Personally, I've never done it with a circuit that complex, but I remember back when I was a kid, with some practical electronics projects, actually doing that, taking the book into school. I did know the person that worked in the reprographics, so I did get away with things that other people perhaps didn't, because I used to take the book into the school, cut the page out of an old glossy magazine and get it to photocopy whatever I wanted out of the magazine, you know, the printed circuit, onto the piece of old magazine print, and then I could use an iron and transfer the toner off that onto a piece of copper to make the actual board. So I've done that a couple of times. You do have to do a little bit of reversal while you're doing it. It's not a case of just completely photocopying it and transferring it over. Usually there's a bit of fiddling about, but it's doable. Well, look what we've got. This shows the age as well. Look what we've got here for your computer. We've got a Amstrad. It's not even a 1640. It's a 1512 Amstrad PC 1512, which basically going through all the simplicities of this. Look, memory, read-only memory, random access memory, programmable ROMs, PROMs, programmable logical arrays, PLAs, and basically descriptions of what they are, how they work. Here we go. Switched EEPROM programmer. So literally building your own EEPROM programmer. Again, a piece of a file layout there, so you can photocopy it, like I said, and produce your own actual printed circuit board for it. Mock stereo. Not seen a Bull Electronics advert in here, which is what I was kind of hoping to find, because I'd like to see what they were selling back in 1990, because by 92 I think it was, they had them Amstrads for sale, because I bought one. It was one of the first PC, well in fact it was the first PC that I owned, was an Amstrad PC 1512. And that was bought from Bull Electronics out of one of these magazines, but actually a little bit later than this. There we go. Bull Electronics. So what could we get from Bull Electronics back in 1990? I wonder if they had their cable back then. If I can find an advert in one of my others. There's a really interesting cable that they used to sell at Bull Electronics. Anything interesting in here? Personal stereos. Again, customer returns, but complete with stereo headphones. Bargain at only £3 each. This is the type of stuff I used to buy when I was a kid and repair them. I used to sell personal stereos at school that I bought from places like Bull Electronics, fixed, and then I used to sell them on. Mains operated microwave control panels. Sub-miniature toggle switches. So the real power amplifier for your car. It has 150 watts output. Frequency response. It doesn't give you the... How much is the... oh, there it is. It carries on up here. How much was that? £57. Electronic spaceships. Now, they had them in for years, because they definitely had them in when I was buying stuff from Bull a few years, you know, after this. But they still have them electronic spaceships in. 14-inch colour monitor. Composite video kits. These convert composite video into separate H-Sync and V-Sync and video. We've got Bush radio MIDI speakers there. 3.5-inch floppy drives. It said we still have 2 models in stock. Single-sided 80-track by Chinon. Bet those would be the original Apple Macintosh drives. So this is in the manufacturer's metal case with leads and IDC connectors. Price £40. Said also a double-sided 80-track by NEC. So this is uncased. Price £59.50. So you can tell how much a disc drive cost back then, when this is like, so this is a surplus company selling them off, and there's still that kind of price. Oh, check this out. Atari 65XE computer. So at 64K, this is the most powerful and suitable for home and business. Brand new, complete with PSU, TV lead, owner's manual and 6 games. Yours for only £45. So you could buy a brand new Atari 65XE from Bull Electronics in 1990 for just £45. That was actually a pretty good deal. I wish you could buy them for that now. Then we've got a remote control for your 65XE computer. Said with this outfit you can be as much as 20 feet away and still have joystick that can transmit and receive. So it must be some kind of wireless joystick for them. We've got lasers. We've got Philips laser. It's a helium neon laser with a power rating of 2 milliwatts, so it's not a powerful, you know, cutting laser or anything. So completely safe as long as you don't look directly into the beam. £30 plus £3 insured delivery. So I mean the prices were actually quite reasonable for what the type of stuff that they used to sell at Bull Electronics. Well, let's carry on. And then you've just got more of the usual, you know, little classified adverts and things like that. Oh, we've got an Acorn. Is that an A3000? Yeah, that'll be an Acorn A3000, complete with its monitor and everything. You see, I wonder if Maplin weren't doing it. Oh yeah, oh, it is a Maplin. Because Practical Electronics always seem to have a Maplin advert on the back of them, and they did even in these earlier ones. Look, we've got a Maplin's, the new Maplin catalogue. What's this one? We'll stop if we see anything computer related on the front of words. I'll just flick through these. We've got baud rate converter, bring PCs down to modem management speed. But very much the same, like I said. These are just going to be really interesting just to spend some time to So just spend some time to flick through. Another one. What have we got? Computer interfacing, remote controlling with IBM PCs and compatibles. Building a robot car. What have we got here? Chip tester. Check out the health of your chips. Sound operated switch. Telescope. Find out more about using your TV as an oscilloscope. I do remember seeing something about that. I don't know if it were on YouTube or somewhere like that, about a practical electronics project where you basically could build a oscilloscope but didn't use a screen. It connected to a black and white TV and that was your display. So I wonder if that's something to do with that. What else have we got? Radio clock, motor speed controllers, again basic electronics, computers, revealing all the bits of PCs. Let's have a look at that. Computers part 2. So we looked at part 1 in that first magazine. We looked at page 41. Oh, have we got... Because as well as Bull Electronic, there was also another company I used to buy lots of stuff from. Ooh, Display Electronics. And every now and again, they'd have a big, like, multi-page spread of some of the stuff they used to sell. And some of the stuff they used to sell, it was not cheap, but they had some very, very interesting stuff. Yeah, we'll look here. ATXT switchable keyboards. £49 each. And that would be considered, you know, a cheap keyboard back then. Green screen monitor chassis. So basically everything bar the case. £29 each. So I suppose if you built your own enclosure for it, it's a cheap... Oh, it's composite, so yeah, it would run with most things. Got some more monitors here again. Oh, what's this? The Fabulous Tatung. I don't think I've ever seen that before. Well, I've never ever heard of one of these before. The Fabulous Tatung, twin 80-track double-sided 5¼ floppies, port to add 8-inch drives, serial and parallel, dual processor. It's obviously CPM machine, bundled software free. So the Tatung TPC 2000 is the big brother of the famous Tatung Einstein. Modern stylish 3-piece system comprising an ultra-thin 892 key keyboard, a 12-inch green non-glare X screen and an attractive console. All is shown in the photograph. So it's got two 1MB hard drives giving a total of 2MB storage capacity. Plus plus you can also add up to an addition of 4 standard 8-inch drives. Either in double density... And it uses IBM format. So the central processor is the faster version of the Z8 to the Z8TA with 64K. Well, if it's a CPM machine, yeah. System expansion port is provided for, amongst other things, the addition of a simple TTL input-output board so that the computer can convert into an industrial controller, and many other external applications. So the TPC 2000 was manufactured by Tatung for use in small businesses, educational establishments and home applications. It comes complete with CPM, WordStar and BASIC, and of course a full manual for the machine. So I suppose this, although this computer originally sold for £1,400, a cancel export order enables us to bring this at the amazing price of £299. So I suppose in 1990 it probably wasn't actually a particularly bad price, but your only problem is yeah, if you needed a business computer to do some accounts on or something, it'd probably work really nicely, but it only runs CP/M. I've never actually heard of that system before. I didn't realise that Tatung had brought anything out computer-wise after the Einstein. That's interesting. I'll have to do some research on that. We've got some terminals. High performance microprocessor control computer terminal. DRAM Super Special. You've got 4 116s for 75p each, or you can buy 100 for £59. So RAM, it wasn't particularly cheap, but it wasn't like mega dear either. Again, more monitors, chart recorders. I think that's everything. Oh, we've got some printers. You can buy a brand new dot matrix printer for £99. Oh, we've got an Epson MX80 there for £129. Jumbo Parts Board. Says this is the entire brain of the 16-bit 8088 system from future computers. So it measures a whopping 14 inches square. We have no data, so it is sold as a parts board, not guaranteed to operate. Well, it's got 1864K RAM chips. Graphics, yeah, basically it's like an XT style system, I think. But they're £13.95 each. So, you know, you think parts-wise, they're absolute bargain at that. Acoustic couplers. It really was just, you know, surplus things that were already obsolete by that time. Got some floppy disk drives, as low as £19.95 for a 3-inch drive. Again, yeah, 40-track single-sided half-height. So what would they have been used in? £19.95 each, but a drive like that was already pretty much obsolete, I think, by about 1990. Keep flicking through that. Sir Patrick Moore, looking rather young. Oh, and again, Bull Electronics. They mustn't have been selling the guided missile cable by this stage, because I haven't seen an advert for it. They used to have them all over the Practical Electronics for this cable until they got banned from selling it. Because I think it was still on the military secrets list or something like that, and they shouldn't really have been selling it. Right, anyway, let's carry on. So we've got a Morse code decoder, DIY PCs. Let's get through the 90s ones, or else this video is going to be too long. We could always, if anyone really wants to see a bit more of an in-depth on these magazines, give me a shout and I'll do a video going, you know, into them all a little bit more detail. But we haven't got as many of these. Unfortunately, there was loads, I think, that were probably this era, but they were just torn to shreds. They weren't worth picking up. But we've got 1984, I think these were. Yeah, April 1984, May 1984, and January 1984. So, let us have a look at January 1984, shall we? We've got a lighting effects desk. So what have we got? Constructional projects. Star desks, that's that lighting desk. Ultrasonic camera trigger. Ooh. Ooh. Expanding the VIC-20 Part 4. This is the earliest one I've got, so I don't think we've got any other parts of that, unfortunately, but and then Simple Speech Part 2, Experimental Speech System. Something on compact discs, semiconductor circuits. And this is what I was meaning about the pages of the magazine. This is more what the ones that I've got from the later 90s have gone like yellowed like this. And They must have been using a better paper in 1990, but they went back to something like this. Bizarre. Oh, look at that. The new MPF 1 Plus. Is that the microprocessor? It's basically, it's a Z80 single board computer with a little display on it. Flight Electronics Limited. So I know it's not the microprocessor. Oh yes, it is. The MPF 1 is a microprocessor learning tool for every application. So it's not a microprocessor. It's something in that kind of ilk, though, isn't it? We've got basically a teaching Z80 single board computer. And it can output to a monitor, or whether you're stuck with the little... It's actually VFD, it's vacuum fluorescent by the look of it, it's not LED. Well, there must be some high voltage driver on there as well. Let's carry on looking. Much older, earlier stuff. I don't think we'll see as much stuff for computers, but it did mention the VIC-20. So let's see what they've got for the VIC-20. Oh, I've got a Spectrum there. So adverts for like computing type stuff is starting to like get into these magazines by this time. Yeah, look here. ZX relay board. A low-cost relay board is now available for ZX Spectrum users. The NMS relay controller has 4 channels, each of which has a double pole 5 amp relay rated at 1 kilowatt at 240 volts, or 100 watt at 25 volts DC. So like other relay boards, it plugs into the Spectrum's mic socket, leaving the expansion port free, and is powered from the Spectrum supply. So the controller is easy to use, as any 4 relays may be turned on or off by means of simple beat commands. Well, that's an interesting thing, it's the way it's actually doing it. So it's not using the actual expansion there, it's literally just sending little beep codes to the controller to allow it to switch the relays. Alright. We've got something else here as well. So according to Enterprise Technology, their EEPROM program, the ZP4000, is the most sophisticated and cost-effective available. It was designed for use with the ZX81 in conjunction with a 16K RAM pack. So this module will enable a user to program 2516 or 2532 type EEPROMs and create prototype software, or even produce EEPROMs in production quantities. Now that's going to be a slow process, but yeah, I suppose technically you could do. Alright, let's carry on. Well, that's that lighting desk. Is it a lighting desk or a sound desk? Star desk. Oh, it's lighting, obviously. Yeah, it's lighting because we've got bloody great big triacs there. Switching the channel and opto isolators. Yeah, so it's a lighting desk. Software index is your answer. I'm interested to see what's this VIC-20 stuff. Oh, I've got compact discs, the technology, so complete expose on how compact discs work. I mean, they would have been fairly... Yeah, so the actual launch in Japan in late 1982 and the Europe's early in 1983, so this is only 84. So they've not been out for that long when this magazine was produced. What's that? In your February issue, which I don't think we've got February, have we? We've got April and May. So we've got January. Oh, that's a shame we haven't got February. Build a serial RS2 and BBC RS422 link for a full half duplex glass teletype remote VDU plus keyboard terminal. I've got to see if I can perhaps find some of these missing, you know, issues that I don't have who've got cool stuff like that. I think you can... Ah. Here we are. Expanding the VIC-20. Part 4. So what we... 8-channel mains triac driver board. So that's... Right, okay. For around £23. This month, a mains driver board, an opto-isolated input board, and the promised points which have been troubling those readers new to hardware construction. We've got some peaks and pokes up there. Very interesting. Well, these are going to need some, you know, some perusal time. Like I said, if anyone wants to see a bit more of an in-depth look at these, give me a shout. I'm sure, actually, if you go on archive.org, you'll probably find these. I think most of this type of stuff's been scanned in by now. I will have a look, see if any of these haven't done, but these have probably all been scanned in. I like physical media. I like actually holding and reading stuff like this rather than on a screen, to be honest. So what have we got here? Oh, we've got a Spectrum on the front. So what have we got this? Step and freeze instructions with the micro stepper. Right, we've got the micro stepper. Well, this has got a computer project in it as well then. Big advert for Heathkit. That's that single board computer again. The MPF 1 Plus. I've got that meter. That little clamshell meter there. 1995. But yeah, it's a nice little analog meter, that. That's a Tandy advert. Here we are. Step and freeze instructions with the micro stepper. So the micro stepper described here is a clip-on device which allows you to follow the operation of a microprocessor system. Oh, it's very interesting. Again, we've got the foils. I think this might be double layered though. That's quite an advanced etch for a home etch. Goodies for the BBC. So yeah, these look really, really interesting. And to be honest, at 10p each, I couldn't leave them at 10p each, could I? Well, look at this. Multimeters buyer's guide. Got all the different. We've got an Avo there, an Avo 8. That's like the Rolls Royce. We've probably got some flukes in here as well. Yeah. More computing bits. Henry's audio, audio electronics. We've got amplifier boards. Cherry add-on keypad, quirky keyboards, computer cabinets. It looks like Apple II, that was ITT 2020, which I think was an Apple II clone. Very, very interesting. Logic signal generator. I'll leave it there now because otherwise this video is going to all be me just looking at these magazines. But like I say, if someone wants me to go through these a little bit more in detail and have a look at some of the full articles in them, just give me a shout. But yeah, so that was my first purchase of the day, and that was £1. And I only bought one other thing, and please don't all moan and groan, but I couldn't leave it when it was the price it was. Yeah, we've got another Dansette. What I'll do, I'll quickly just get the camera reset back up so you can see this thing a little bit better, and we'll have a quick look at this thing. So back in a sec. Right, okay, there we go. You can see it all in shot now. Right, so what we've got here, ooh, and it's a heavy one. This is an early one, but we've got a Dansette. Is this a? I don't know if this is a major or a minor. It's not a minor. Is it a major? I think this is a Dansette major. But this is a 50s one. You can tell by the, I believe it's a UA8 turntable there. Cosmetically, actually, it's not bad. I've noticed there's a tiny little crack and pinhole in the front there. But I think I can fix that. I think I can glue it and back it, and you won't really see that tiny, it's literally like one little piece of the plastic out of one of them little windows has been cracked in. I might even find it inside and be able to glue it back in. But apart from that, it's pretty good. It's really, really dirty, but it doesn't actually look too bad. We've got obviously nice lethal mains lead. Let's see what we've got for in the way of it. Oh, that's not good. We've got a slightly iffy arm. The arm seems to be dropped. Oh, right, I can see what's happened. That should be through there, and it's pulled out. But we've got a replacement cartridge up. I don't know if you can see that. Can you see that? We do have a replacement. What's that? It's a GP. I can't make it out. GP51, is it? But that is not the original cartridge in there, so there is a slim chance that might actually work. It won't work for the fact that that wire is not on it, but we can push that back on. Let me just see if I can do something quickly about that, because we're not going to be able to try it with it like that, are we? We've got nothing on the. Oh. There might be a little bit of something left on that side, on the 78 side, but on the other side there is nothing left on that stylus. Just quickly see if we can do something about that. Yeah, there's two of them. These screws here, they've got a little rubber washer on them, and they pulled out. And rubber washers are probably completely shot, so I'm not sure what I'll be able to do with that. Yeah, them little rubber washers there. Actually, it doesn't feel too bad. I might be able to get them back in place. Take that off there. Take that off there. This was sold as not working. Actually, this came off the same chap that I bought that Sony reel-to-reel tape recorder that Andy ended up with. This came off the same seller, because he actually recognised me from buying the Sony reel-to-reel. And apparently he said he won't be there next week because he's at a car show, but the week after he's got another record player, and he said he will bring it, so if I'm interested in it, it'll be on his stall, not next Sunday but the Sunday after. So you never know, I might end up with it. He said it'd be the same price as this one, which wasn't unreasonable for a Dansette. To be honest, these things are getting silly now, and most people on car boots, especially considering he was a trader. He was a very honest chap. Like I say, he said it's been tried, it doesn't work. And I paid £15 for it, which, as I said, for a Dansette is a really, really, really good price. I'd pay £15 for a scrap Dansette for parts. So to get one that's repairable and rebuildable for that money is very, very, very good, because they are getting, you know, silly daft now for what people want for them. I've seen, you know, what people have been asked. I've seen people ask, you know, £50–60 for ones which are literally parts machines. Obviously, I won't pay that for one that is just a parts machine. I would pay £15 for one that's just a parts machine. They've all gone back in, so let's see whether we can put this back together and perhaps get it to... Let me spin this record player around because I'm working on the wrong side of it here. That screw is going to be a right mare to get to, but I suppose we just put those two in, it will hold it for now. So let's take that and put that back on. That was it. About there, I think it was. And there was that one there, weren't there? There we go. That's better. And I'll have to take the deck out to put the last one in, unfortunately, because I can't actually get to it back there. But at least that moves up and down now. Let's see if we can reconnect these wires. Some little snips or something I can get hold of those with. Now I'm not expecting it to work. There's either that cartridge will be dead or there'll be something wrong with the amplifier, but we'll give it a quick try. One thing with these is they do have mains isolation in them, so it's not as dangerous as plugging a lot of record players in. Plus I know for a fact that this thing has been plugged in recently because the chap told me he tried it. Get that, hopefully I can get that to plug back on there. I mean, if that's the only major fault was that was on and it'll actually start playing, you're laughing, but I doubt it. That's on. There we go. Right, so we've got those connected back up there. Good enough for us to do a quick test anyway. Most of the mechanism seems to work. That's going through its cycles. Yep. Seems to be cycling okay, that. We're going to go drop. Yep. There we go. So we might actually stand a chance at least of the turntable working on it, if nothing else. Got our mains lead, let's get that round the back. Let's have a quick look inside before we do power it up, just have a quick look at the amplifier. But I don't think those catches are original either. I have a feeling they may have been changed. So I don't ever remember a Dansette which actually had locks on it, so you could lock the lid shut. So I wonder if someone must have changed them in the past. Pity I don't have the key for them. let's have a quick look at the amplifier. Yeah, we've got the pretty typical one valve wonder in here. So we've just got one valve up there. We'll have a solid state rectifier, and we've got our mains transformer at the back there, so at least when we rebuild this we can put a good 3-core mains cable on it and earth the deck and earth the amplifier. We've got a really nice roller speaker there, nice big powerful speaker. This thing should sound pretty good actually. Apart from that, very basic these. They always were really super basic electrically. It's a little one valve wonder amplifier. But with the high output cartridge, they still produce a fair decent amount of volume. Just whip this back on. More so I don't lose the screws or anything. But we've most likely got a UL41 output valve there. Fortunately I do have a few of them left, so if the output valve's bad, it's not the end of the world. Although it's fairly easy to swap out for other valves, to be honest. You can just swap the base and put a UL84 in if you haven't got UL41s, because they are getting a little on the pricey side. Right, let's get that so you can see kind of like that, and we'll get, there it is. You come out from there. We've got the safe block out. Now where is my limiter? I can't for the life of me just remember what I've done with my lamp limiter. I know it used to be in this box here. Is it? What's that there? No, that's not it. We could always use that. Oh, it's there. Silly me. I'm going to put it somewhere else. Right, so we'll get that plugged in. And all this is for if there's something really nasty wrong, like a dead short or something, this will just let us know, basically preserve it and stop anything going bang. Plug the safe block into the limiter. See what's going on, can't you? Yeah, right, that's better, isn't it? Yeah, you can see what's going on there. So we only have like nasty 2-core cable, so that will definitely have to be changed. So we're connected up to the safe block. We're off on the amplifier there. We'll release that clip. Energise the safe block. We'll switch on and see if anything goes bang. Well, it won't go bang, but that's the whole point of having the lamp limiter there. So we'll switch on. And I can't see any signs of life at all. There isn't even a glow from the lamp. The dial light's lit though, so we know we've got power. So our dial light is lit, and I can see a glow from the heater filament in the valve. So we've got apart from that, it seems very dead. There is no crackle or bump or anything coming from the amplifier. No signs of life from the No signs of life from the cartridge. Let's see if the turntable's going to turn. Yes, it is. I don't think that's going to need a lot of work to actually get it to run through, to be honest. Let's just see if it'll cycle a record through. Obviously we're not going to hear anything because there is something wrong with the amplifier side of the record player, but it'd be interesting just to see whether the mechanism's going to do a full rotation. Let me grab something to test it with. What have we got up here? Ideally I could do with my 78 because that's the only side of the cartridge that's working. Although I suppose it wouldn't really matter too much because these are just test records. I wonder where my 78's gone. Not put it on top of there, have I? No? Where on earth have I put that where it's safe? Oh, there it is. Yeah, we'll use the 78 now I've found it. Right, yep. Not in brilliant condition, this record, but it's perfectly good for testing. So we'll put that on. We've got that set to 78. Basically I just want to see whether the machine's actually going to cycle. So we're not going to have any real audio coming out of it because there's obviously something wrong with the amplifier, but let's see what happens. Let's see if it can actually... Oh, well, it works. Missed that a little bit. See, obviously we've got nothing coming out of the record player at all, but at least it shows that the actual mechanism itself seems to be working, but that seems a bit slow. That seems to be running slow for 78. It looks like, I don't know. No, I don't think it's quite running at the right speed, so that'll have to get looked at. Let's reject that. I think that's meant to have sprung back up by this point, so there's obviously something I think wrong with you know, the mechanism's going to need a full service, but it's there for the most part. Let me just turn it off now because we don't want to run it for too long knowing it has got a fault. So we'll switch that off. But the mechanism is just basically going to need a basic service. Cosmetically it needs a damn good clean. It needs a little bit of repair work in here where some of the Rexines started to lift. Again, same here, there's a little bit of damage. Probably from it sitting on its side with some damp, so there's what you usually find on these cabinets basically, but it's not bad. It's for 15 quid, it's pretty damn good actually, to be fair. It's certainly not a basket case. I can certainly make this into a really nice record player, and it will make someone a lovely vintage record player, this one. And these Dansettes are sought after. People like the Dansettes. I mean, to be honest, I'm not a huge fan of them myself. I'd rather have something like a Hacker, because some of the Hacker record players are even something like a Pi Black Box. They were far superior machines to Dansette, but Dansette is what's got the name, you know, the name recognition. When you're selling vintage record players, just the Dansette name will give, you know, a huge premium over even a better quality record player that doesn't have the Dansette name on it. So anyway, that's basically what I picked up today at Chelford. I know it was only a couple of items and we did spend quite a lot of time looking at those magazines, but they're rather cool. And like I said, I paid £1 for them and I paid 15 quid for this, which I consider, like I said, really quite good. Anyway, I'm going to leave it there for now. Like I said, I hope you enjoyed having a look at what I picked up. So I'll say thanks for watching and goodbye.